All right. Welcome back to the stream, everyone. So yeah, we got 24 hours left in this GMTK jam and got a lot of stuff to do. But before I get into that, you may have heard that I no longer have a job. So my income every month is basically relegated to what I get from Udemy and Steam. So if you're able to and you want to, you can financially support me by picking up one of my Udemy courses. You'll also learn a lot about Godot and building a game in Godot 4. And you could also pick up one of my games on Steam. Of course, if you can't financially support me or don't want to for whatever reason, that's absolutely fine. You could subscribe and watch my videos. That helps just as much. So with all of that out of the way, how is everyone doing? Virtually Retro, hello. Good morning. It's afternoon here. It's almost 12:30 here, but good morning to you. Hello, Solo Leveling. Hello, AnyKey. Welcome back. I've been at it a bit this week. Yeah, this is, I'm probably going to be streaming quite a bit as I start getting into more game development stuff. After the C# course that I'm making is done, I will be focused on making games, and I have all the time in the world to stream, so I'll be streaming quite frequently, I think. Hello, Jay Scott. Welcome, welcome. All right, so there's a couple of things I need to do. Let me show you the current state of the game, and I'll also explain a little bit about the game. So the theme for GMTK is built to scale, and what I've done here is I've built like this little arena kind of combat shooter thing where you can swap between player sizes, so small, medium, and large, and small players can only kill small enemies, medium players can only kill medium enemies, and large players can only kill large enemies. After each round is over, which lasts a specific amount of time, you will be presented with 3 potential upgrades you can choose. And you have one for small, one for medium, and one for large, and these just change your abilities. So each player size has a special ability. For instance, the large has a jump slam. So if I take that, I should get 2 jump slams now. So I can use my special ability and get extra damage out of it. Now, even though I can't damage enemies that don't match my size, I can still knock them back and interrupt their attacks. So it's all about just basically switching to the player size that you need to be on and taking care of the enemies with that player. And let's see, jump slam. So we're gonna just get a bunch of jump slam repeats. So we go boom, boom, boom. See? So yeah, that's the game. And there's a lot of stuff that I need to do still. The one major thing that I want to do is do a boss. And so we may be doing that on the stream today, because that would be really cool. But I'm also concerned about making that too much effort. Basically, if I work until midnight, I've got 12 hours, and then I've got a couple hours tomorrow I can work on this. So, and I still haven't done music or sound effects or anything like that. So we're getting down to crunch time a little bit, but I'm confident that I can get most of what I want to do done. So, first thing that's up is there's a bug, there's a crash that's being caused. So I need to die. Not me, but the player. And I need to use my ability cooldown. And then when I get hit, I get an error here. And for some reason it says the object-derived class of argument 1 previously freed is not a subclass of the expected argument class, which is odd. So I'm wondering if I can just remove this specification, or what if I do as... Why is my caps lock on? As timer? I don't think that's going to work, but let's give it a shot. I don't know why that's happening. I think it's related to static typing. The GDScript static typing, but... Fight me! Oh, you know what? I didn't even trigger the error. I need to use my ability first, because we get that ability cooldown. And then that ability cooldown timer is related to the error that we're seeing. Okay, so that doesn't work. So, maybe if I just remove this argument here. This cannot accept a type specification in the argument. I'm guessing that's going to fix it, but we'll see. Okay, that seems to have fixed it. So for some reason, you can't pass in a freed object in here. I don't like that though. You know what I'm gonna do? Small timer if is instance valid. Small timer. Else null. Is this gonna work? This might be better. Medium timer. Large timer. Okay. Maybe that'll work. Okay, that's fine. So it's a little bit more verbose, but it really doesn't like when you pass in a timer that's been freed when you're specifying a timer here. I don't know. Godot's kind of weird still, but that's better. So whatever, I'm good with that. Fixed that bug. So fix ability timer bug. What does this change? Oh, I don't want to change the player health. Let's change the player health back to 10. Always good to look at your changes when you're committing stuff just to see, make sure you're not doing anything wrong. Okay, the next thing I want to do is I have this little alert, and that's going to indicate when an enemy is charging up an attack. So I want to add that into my enemies now. How I'm going to do that is a little bit tricky. I think what I'll probably do is just add a sprite here. Sprite 2D, let's do alert sprite, and then we're gonna bring this attack alert here. And this can just go wherever I need it to go, like so. And we'll copy this alert sprite. I really want to refactor the enemy, but we're kind of in don't fix what ain't broke territory, so I'm just having to copy and paste these changes that I make to the enemy everywhere. So we've got a little exclamation mark. Now we need to grab a reference to that. So loop alert sprite is equal to alert sprite. And we need to show that when we enter the state attack here, or enter state charge attack. So we'll do var tween is equal to create tween dot tween property. So firstly, let's do this. Alert sprite dot visible is equal to true. We want to set the alert sprite to invisible by default. Like so. So we're going to tween on the alert sprite. We're going to tween the scale. We're going to tween it to vector2.1. We're going to do it over a 0.15 duration, and we're going to do dot from vector2.0. Set ease out. And then we'll do the transition as back. There we go. And then we'll basically copy that, except we're going to do scale to 0 now. But we're going to set a delay on this. To something like 0.3. And we'll get rid of this from. All right, let's see if that works. So now I should see a little indicator over the enemy heads when they're about to attack. That doesn't help. Oh, I want to do vector2 dot 1 times 2 maybe, and then in here vector2 dot 1. Okay, let's try that. So I want it to go out and then down. I think that looks great. I might turn down this scaling just a little bit there. Now I think that needs to be tweened out when the leave state attack is done. So maybe what we'll do is, let's keep a reference to that tween. Alert tween, tween, enter state, charge attack. We'll change this to alert tween. Then we'll also have to do if alert tween not equal to null and alert tween dot is valid. We want to kill the alert tween dot kill. Okay, and then this cats are being annoying right now. All right, alert tween. So we got all that, and then this, instead of this delay here, what we probably want to do is just copy these lines here. I'm gonna comment that out. So when leave, so enter state charge attack, let's do a leave state charge attack. And in here, we're gonna pass that reference into this state machine. Leave state charge attack. And then in here, what we're gonna do is we'll kill the alert tween if it exists. And then we will create that alert sprite scale. Oh, did I copy the wrong thing? Right, I want to copy this line. So that's the line where it resets it to 0. So leave state, where is it? Oh gosh, leave state charge attack here. We don't want to delay. Okay, so tween property alert sprite scale. Yeah. Well, let's see if that works. So the reason I did that is because when you knock an enemy back while it's in the charge attack state, its charge attack is interrupted, but I don't want that exclamation point to remain. Oh, and of course I'm failing to test it. Oh, there we go. So that works. Okay. Let's try it with this guy. So there's the alert, and then I can hit him and it stops it. Cool. So state charge attack. I have to do a bunch of tweaks to this enemy behavior too. I don't really like how they move, but that's something that I have written down here. Let's do this. Let's add it as an item here. Tweak enemy follow behavior, maybe? Behavior. In any case, what did I do here? Enemy attack indicator. So that's done. So I'm going to commit this. Enemy attack indicator. I think it works for all enemy types, right? All right, let's see what you guys are saying. How's the game going? It's going well, thank you. Yours is only done? Or only done. Almost done, that's good. Check the instance and is instance null. They're all small timer. Where was that at? Let's see. That was in the game UI, right? Oh, yeah. Thank you. Medium timer, large timer. Thank you for catching that. So fix issue in game UI. Thank you, thank you. Hello, Mohammed. Welcome back. The boinky animations, yeah, I know. Okay, so what's next? All right, give me 1 second. I need to check what the cats are up to. They're being suspicious. All right, they're fine. So let's see what I've got to work on. So I want to do a boss. I want to add more abilities. I need to add a tutorial. I want to tweak the enemy follow behavior. I want to add difficulty scaling. I need to do a mouse cursor. I need sound effects and music. I need to do an options menu. I need to do a main menu. And I've got some bonus items here that I want to explore, but that's only if I get through all these things. So why don't we do the fun thing and we will make a boss here. So let's do that. Let's make a boss. How do I do that? How do I do that? So I already have an idea of what I want the boss to be. So let's open up the mock-up here. Basically what I want to do is just take these 3 enemy sizes as they exist currently. And we're just going to copy this basically. Except we're going to do something very fun. We're going to give this guy a crown. New layer. I'm just going to draw it on a new layer. So give him a crown. That's not a very good crown, but... So he's the king. So we do something like that, and then I could add maybe some like... I actually don't know how I'm going to do this. Add some jewels or something in here. I'm not really using green anywhere, so I could probably use green. Yeah. So we got a little crown here. That can just sit right on his head like that. And I can take the outline here and just basically just fill all this in. Okay, so there's crown number 1. All right, let's do the next one. Oops. Oh no. All right, crown on this guy too. Maybe I should make this thicker. Yeah, I probably should make that thicker, huh? I'll have to play with that a little bit, but I think that looks all right. I mean, if anything, I could bring this down a little bit. No, that's fine for now. Let's just paint the crown on this other guy. Suppose I should have turned the horizontal matching on, but I think that's fine. It's a little bit asymmetrical, but I'm not too concerned about that. And then we'll do some outlines here. Oops. Oops. Coloring outside the lines. Okay, there's the medium crown. And we'll try to match the gems as much as possible, but it's probably not going to be super close, which is fine. Doesn't need to be exact. That looks fine. I'm gonna have to, I'll add more detail to that later. I will add more detail to that later. What I do want to do though is I want to add like a shadow here. And same for there as well. Maybe this should be 2 pixels thick. No, 1 is probably fine. Okay, so now time for the large guy. This guy's gonna have a very big crown here. Oh boy, this is gonna be difficult. I'm gonna need to bring in the horizontal symmetry. That's probably fine. It looks a little bit different than the others, but it's a larger crown, so it's probably acceptable. Let's do the outline first, I suppose. Oh, I don't want to, yeah, I don't want to do that. Okay. Your team doesn't even have a prototype? Uh-oh, you have 24 hours. Infinity Crown. Oh yeah, with the Infinity Stones. Have you been missing streams? Yeah, I did a couple. I have done a couple, and I also just started doing them again. The GMTK Jam started on Friday, so a couple days ago, and I've streamed. This is the 4th stream since it started. Hello, Castellina. How you doing? Gone and the enemies are now noble. Well, this is the boss. So obviously I want to retain the mechanic that, you know, if you kill, or you have to be the right size to damage the enemy. And so the easiest way to do that is to make the boss have 3 variants of his size. Double King. I don't know what that is. I'm assuming it's something good. Get a red gem on the crown of the big one. Yeah, I don't want to use too much red though, because they're already red. But I could do a big gemstone right there. Maybe like a big green one. It's almost too much. I might need to do something smaller, like... or I could do... maybe something like that could work. I don't know, I'm just placing random pixels now. I'll figure out how to make that work. But what I do want to do is do some highlights here. Cats is going crazy. Could even add more detail here. No, that doesn't look good. That orange doesn't look good right up against the right up against the pink there, but maybe I could do something like this. Yeah, that looks decent. I don't know. Just drawing random things now. I don't really know what to put here. I suppose I could do like another green or a darker one or a light blue maybe. I think I want to... there we go. I like that better. That'll be fine for now. I mean, it's not the prettiest looking crown, but you know, we can make it work. All right, so we've got our king, our boss enemy. Scepter would look nice. Yeah, scepter or robe or something to distinguish him more than just the crown. Or avoid scope creep in the good idea fairy. Yeah, I mean, the reason that he only has a crown is because... so the only way I'm really differentiating the player is with the hat. Whoops. And the color. And I figured I'd just do the same for the boss minus the color. Obviously, in a more full game, it would be fun to do those kinds of things like scepter and cape and whatnot, but I don't have hands in here either except for this, you know, this thing. So if I have time, I'll consider doing those things, but I don't have time, so. They are good ideas, though. Okay, so now I need to save all of these. So I'm actually going to merge this down. Okay, so we got these. Let's save this. This boss is going to be a lot of work to complete. Okay, save enemy. Let's do boss small. All right. Then we'll do this guy. Boss medium. Oops. Come on. I think I clicked a wrong button somewhere. There we go. Alrighty. So now the question is, do I try to shoehorn... No, I don't want to try to shoehorn this boss into the already existing enemy script. So add boss art. Let's just commit that right now. All right. So let's figure out how to do this boss here. I'm going to start with the enemy small, I think. How do I want to do this? I don't even know what the boss attacks are going to be necessarily. Well, only way to start is to start. So let's just go ahead and do a character body 2D. And enemy boss, I guess. Save this, scenes. What am I doing? Game object, enemy. Wow, this lack of sleep or something is causing my brain to drastically slow down here. Enemy boss. Okay, here we go. Back at it. So what I'm going to have is, I'm probably going to just kind of mimic what I've got on the player here. So let's create a visuals root. Yeah, I could probably just do... well, let me look, because the player, I want to use the animations that happen when I change size. So when I do change size, I'm doing swap visuals, and that is doing a tween. The bounce root is the medium sprite root. Okay, so I'm going to create a visuals root and then a root for all the different things. Make the boss the... Oh my gosh, this YouTube thing. The queen... I could do that. So let's get the boss working first. So let's add a node 2D. Let's call it visuals root. Add a child node. Let's do another node 2D. We're going to do small root. Let's just duplicate this a couple times. Medium root. Large root. Add child node sprite. Offset, we're going to turn this off. Boss small. Look at how cute he is. Okay, so we've got that. Let's duplicate it. Boom. Duplicate it again. Boom. I got to think of a name for this game. I'm going to write that down because that's something that I'm going to need. Come up with a name. Tell you what, I'm eager for this game to be finished because I'm very tired. and I don't want to work on this anymore. I mean, I'm having fun working on it, but I just want to get it out into the wild and be done with it, you know what I mean? But alas, we're here. I am having fun with this game though, quite a bit. So much fun, in fact, that I may not just abandon this game after it's done. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, so we've got a couple of visuals here. Oh no. Actually, yeah, this will be fine actually. So collision shape 2D. Let's just go ahead and add that new capsule shape. We need this collision mask to be, it needs to be on the terrain layer and also on the enemy character body layer. And it needs to, no, it needs to look for mask and it needs to look for enemy character body. There we go. And then this collision shape here, we just need to make it small enough. That's fine. Could even make it smaller. It's gonna look odd as these guys get bigger, but it's fine. I'm kind of curious, what is the enemy large? Oh, it does have a larger collision shape here. I might have to swap out the collision shapes based on the size as well, but I'm not going to do that just yet. We'll just leave that collision shape there. We need to change this mode to floating. Okay. So basically I need to get the boss switching between sizes. So I'm going to borrow basically what I did for the player. So let's add a script to this enemy boss here. So let's create this swap visuals function and the change size function. Let's just get both of those, copy and paste it over. And now, okay, so I need to grab these things. So let's just mark all these as access as unique name. There we go. So anywhere it says visual small, I'm going to change this to small root. Anywhere it says this, we'll do medium root. Current size, so let's do a variable for that. So current size is equal to, or of type entity size dot size equal to entity size dot size dot small. Oh. Do I need to introduce another layer of root here? I think I might. So we've got these, so we've got this visuals root. Let me just explain what I'm doing here. So I'm just using I'm using a lot of node 2Ds here. So visuals root is the root under which all of the visuals go, and in here I can apply a scale to flip the enemy. So if I apply a -1 scale, he'll flip to the left. Then each of these individual roots are basically just things that I can animate independently. So I can turn this off, for instance, if I don't want to show that. But then the sprite itself also needs to be animated. Yeah, I think I need to do... I can probably get away with using the small root again. So small root, medium root. Basically, if you need to do a bunch of independent animations, the problem is, like, if you want to apply multiple scales from different animations to the same visuals, you can't apply them to the same node 2D because they'll fight with each other. So you can introduce a node 2D hierarchy against which you can apply all of your different animations to affect. So I could have a run animation and a bounce animation affecting the sprite at the same time, as long as those scales are being applied to two of the ancestor node 2Ds, right? Am I keeping a healthy sleep schedule? Yeah, I think so. I'm getting like 7 or 8 hours of sleep every day, so Make my cat the boss. I actually did that in one of my other GMTK Jam games. Yeah, the new C# course is going to be here soon as well. So now I need a bunch of different hurt boxes here. So let's do that. I'm actually gonna just copy this. Don't tell anyone. I'm gonna copy these from the player and paste these over here. But yeah, just please don't tell anyone that I did this. My reputation will be ruined. Okay, so make unique. And I think all of these collision masks can be reset. Yeah. Now the interesting thing is I'm actually using rectangular hurt box shapes. So I'm just going to copy this enemy small hurt box shape actually. Copy. Maybe I should have just copied the hurt box component from here instead. Yeah, I'm gonna undo that. Hurt box component small, hurt box shape, make unique. Cool. Let's go to the enemy medium. Why did it do that? There we go. Make unique. Hurt box shape small, hurt box shape medium, hurt box component medium. Goodness. Enemy large. This one. Hurt box component large. There we go. I'm like losing my train of thought. I should make more coffee. That's what I should do. Okay, so we've got all of our hurt box shapes in place. So now let's look at the script. And I've got these hurt box shapes, small, medium, and large. So let's go ahead and disable both of those. Let's grab a reference to these things. Okay, now just to test this, what I'm gonna do, func ready, I'm gonna do change size, entity size dot small, await get tree dot create timer 1, we'll change size to large, and then we're gonna do the same thing, except we're gonna go down to medium. And in my main here, I'm going to, you know what? Yeah, this enemy manager here. Let's just get rid of this proceed. Is that going to work? Perfect. So comment out that proceed. Let's do this actually. I'm going to do this. At export var debug disable bool. If engine dot, or no, if os dot is debug build and debug disable. Well, if not OS's debug build or debug disable or not debug disable. So now what I can do is in this upgrade manager, did I not do that correctly? Or the enemy manager, debug disable on. So now what I should be able to do is just run the game now, and that shouldn't spawn anything, which means now I can instantiate this enemy boss, and now I can run the game, and I can hopefully watch it change shapes. Oops. I forgot to move him. Also, he needs to have his visuals adjusted. There we go. Okay. Oh, I forgot to await the timeout. Nice. Okay. So he's switching sizes now. Unfortunately, though, this is emitting player size change, so we don't want that to happen. Okay. Who knew that copy and pasting could be so easy? Okay, so he can swap sizes now, which is great, which is absolutely fantastic. So now we need to listen for this hurtbox component. Now, oh, how am I going to do this? I don't know how this boss is going to work with knockback and whatnot. I didn't think about that. Well, let's create a couple of states. I need a state machine. Somebody give me a state machine stat. Go to my enemy small here. We'll grab a state machine here. And let's go ahead and grab these states here. I'm not going to copy all these states, though. I just need something ready to go. Okay, let's do a func state normal. That's a good idea. Enter state normal. Okay, so we need a run tween as well. So if the run tween is not equal to null and run tween dot is valid. Super easy to invert your sleep schedule when you don't have outside demands on your timing. Yeah. I agree. Run tween is valid. Run tween dot kill. This is going to be tough. It's going to be tough to get this boss to work the way I want it to. There's going to be a lot of code that needs to be written. But what I'm going to do here is yeah, let's do this. So anytime change size is called, well, dang, this is going to be difficult. Whatever. We'll just keep throwing stuff into the game until it works. Move and slide, flip, velocity. Yep, okay. Copy and paste all this stuff. I am an expert programmer. Copy, paste, copy, paste. So this acquired target position is going to grab the player's position. Identifier speed not declared in the global scope. Okay, so we need a speed map then. Var speed map dictionary. Let's do entity size dot small. We'll just make it the same as the small enemy. So the enemy small speed is 75. 75. Entity size dot medium. I believe this was 60 or something. 55. And the entity size dot large is 45. 40. Okay. So I'm just copying the sizes of all the existing enemy types for the boss here. And then we'll do speed map current size. Okay, we need this flip now. There it is. Bloop. Go ahead and grab that. So now we need a reference to this visuals root. I'll just call this visuals. Now, why is this not working? Sprite is not declared. Oh, I need to, oh no. I need to point to the correct sprite. So we'll basically just match on the current size. Medium. Large. Let's go ahead and do small sprite. Medium sprite. Why can't I do it on the medium root? Is there a reason why I can't do that? Oh, right, because I'm applying the swap. The size swap to that root. Okay, so that's why I can't do that. So I'll just assign that. So we'll say the sprite that we're animating is based on the size, large sprite. There we go. Now, if I did everything correctly, we should have something very basically working. No. Cannot call method is running on a null value. Right. But the problem is that this create run tween now needs to exist. It needs to happen on size change. That's okay, I'll just call it immediately. Okay, he's not following me. Why isn't he following me? Because I'm not calling state machine.update. Okay, now it should be good. All right, there he goes. I can hit him with my bullets and they do damage. He doesn't get knocked back though because he doesn't have that code in place. Look at how tiny he is, little tiny king right there. Little tiny king, what is he doing? Okay, so we're getting there with the boss. So what I want to do is basically he'll randomly switch to a different size while he's doing stuff. So what I want him to do is he'll switch to a different size. Ideally, what I can do is give each size of the boss a different special ability. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go that far with it, but at a minimum, what I want to do is I want him to, when he changes size, spawn any number of enemy types of that size as well. So I guess in the simple version, in the bare minimum version, what I can do is I can make him do no damage himself, and maybe he runs away from the player, and every time he changes size, he spawns a bunch of enemies of his size. So they run interference basically, and those enemies can damage you. So I'm going to do that as at a minimum, and then if I'm feeling good about how much time I have, I'm going to try to add a unique ability for him for every size. Make him jump around and summon as he summons pawns. Yeah, something like that. So when he's in the state normal, he's going to run around, and we are going to add child node random timer. This random timer is going to be a size change timer. It's going to be one shot, and it's going to have a minimum wait time of 2 seconds and a maximum wait time of 4 seconds. Maybe we'll tweak that 3 and 5. That sounds good. Let's get a reference to this, and this is going to be of type random timer. So enter state normal if not, or if random, if size change timer dot is stopped, size change timer dot start random. Okay, in the normal state, what we're gonna do, if size change timer dot is stopped, we're going to change size. So let's do var sizes equals entity size dot small. I'm going to do something really kind of hacky here. We're going to filter out the one that's our current size. Func size we'll pick a random element from there, and then we'll call change size new size. Now in here we'll probably actually want to change to a different state, like state size change, enter state size change, something like that. Excuse me. So we'll do this. We'll change the state in here to state size change. And then in here, what we'll do is we'll just decelerate that velocity to vector 2.0. And then we'll also call flip and move and slide. Let's add a change delay timer in here. We'll call it size change delay timer, I suppose. So if that size change delay timer is stopped, we're gonna do a bunch of stuff in here, but first we're gonna change the size. Yeah, actually, I wanna grab that and put that in here. And then back to state normal. So something like that. Let's see if that works. So he's going to run around. He should stop for a second. Oops. Cannot convert argument 1 from nil to int. All right. See if this works. What is going on? Invalid type and function change size and base. My new size is null. Oh, I'm not returning. Got to return right there. Okay, that's the problem. Bloop. There he goes, right into medium. So now he doesn't have his he doesn't have his run animation. So I gotta fix that. But it looks like he's swapping between sizes pretty well. It should be random too. So yeah, he went from large to medium that time. Die! Why won't you die? During your regular days, do you practice code every day or you have other hobbies? I'm basically coding every day, especially making the course and as I'm going to do game development. But I do have other hobbies as well. I've got an aquarium that got some fish and shrimp in. And then I play guitar a little bit. Of course, I got the cats to take care of. And what are my other hobbies? I guess that's about it. I do a little bit of reading here and there. Coding every day. Yeah, it can be a nightmare. It gets old sometimes, but hello, Hawk Game Dev. Welcome, welcome. The new course is a C# course in Godot 4, making a puzzle game in Godot this time. Describing your hobbies. Did we just become friends, like stepbrothers? All right, so let's actually give this guy some, well, let's fix the run animation first. So when the size gets changed, I think what I need to do is I need to call, let's call create run tween in there and see if that works. So after he changes size, he'll create a new run tween. There we go. There's a situation where that will break, but I'm not gonna worry about that situation just yet. I obviously, okay, let's get him spawning some enemies now and see how that feels. So first I'm gonna commit what I have. Initial work on boss. And I actually don't want to commit that main change, so we'll just commit those. Oh wait, I didn't want to do that. Get out of here. Okay. New hobbies, yeah. Quick question, are you using 4.3 stable? Experiencing a lot of lag with the file system. I am. I haven't noticed any problems on my end using this. Oh, thank you, yeah. The game is fun, if I say so myself. I'm hoping that you guys like it when you play it, when you get your hands on it. And of course, there will be a dev vlog in the future. So if anyone wants their live stream comments to appear in the YouTube video, enter them now. But yeah, I think you guys are gonna enjoy this. I'm having a blast making this game, and I think it feels great. I think it's fun to play, and that's why I'm kind of stressing out over just like making everything work really well, and not stressing out, but like I'm really like singularly focused on just like don't add anything other than what's necessary to make the game feel absolutely polished and ready to go. Okay, so let's get the enemy boss spawning some of the enemies. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to do this. var enemy small scene equals preload enemy small. And here we'll do, instead of small, we'll do medium. And here we'll do large. And let's do var enemy map. Copy all this. Okay, so now we gotta figure out how to spawn all these enemies. So I think right when this change size is called, or this, so state size change, it's calling change size. I'm gonna do func leave state size change, and in here is where I'm going to, so I'm gonna say var enemy scene is equal to, what did I even call this? Enemy scene, let's call it enemy scene map. Enemy scene map, current size as packed scene. Hi YouTube, there it is. Mohammed. Hi YouTube, yeah, let's do it. I'll see if I remember to put your, well, maybe I'll make a note of it. Let's see, make a note of it. It's 1:34 p.m. on what, is it Monday? 1:34 p.m. Monday. YouTube comments. I'll give you guys a quick cameo. If I remember. There's always a possibility I forget, but I wrote it down, so. Hello. Cat is here. All right. Let's get some enemies going here. So enemy scene, let's just do for I in range, rand I range. 0 to, or no, not 0. Let's do 3 to. This is it. Is this inclusive? It is inclusive. Okay, so 3 to 6 maybe. Enemy scene dot instantiate as node 2D var enemy get parent dot add child enemy dot global position is equal to global position. I'm going to change this, but I just want to see if this works. Smack the sub button. Yeah. Solo leveling. Hi, YouTube. Yeah, let's do it. So something has not worked, and the reason it's not worked is because I forgot to add this leave state size change. Oh, goodbye. Apparently the physics does not agree with everything being placed at the same position. See ya. Goodbye. Just being immediately abducted. Whoop. Okay, that's actually quite funny. But yeah, the problem here is that I need to spawn them. So let's do this. Static func get spawn position. This is going to return a vector 2. Static var instance enemy manager. Func notification what if what is equal to notification scene instantiated. Instance equals self. So instance dot reference, or let's do this. Bloop. Grab all this, get this. Instance dot reference rect, and then return spawn position. And here, I'm going to rename this get random spawn position. Okay, and then my enemy boss, what I can do is instead of setting the global position here, I can do enemy manager dot get random spawn position, and we're good to go. So let's see if that works. Full screening the window does not help. Bloop. Oh. Oh. Enemy manager, let's see. I'm just gonna put that debug disabling in there as well. Okay. Oh my gosh, there's way too many. There's way too many enemies. That's actually really fun though, look at that. Very nice. All right, let's see. Oh man. So what do we need to do next? Thank you, Mohammed. All right. So, Costalina, I'm going to give you some tough love here, I think. So, thank you for watching the stream, but this is not really the forum for you to mope. So, if you want to ask questions, that's perfectly fine. If you want advice, that's perfectly fine, but, you know, your complaints aren't helping anything. So, what I would suggest for you is, again, this is tough love. I'm doing this because I care. You need to get out of yourself. You need to go help somebody. You need to go volunteer. You need to do something for other people. You're not going to find what you're looking for by caving in on yourself. So that would be my advice to you, is to go and find some way to help someone else or a group of people. And otherwise, I'm going to have to ask you to please stop just complaining in the chat. Trying to keep it cool, trying to keep it fun. No worries. You're fine. I know you're going through a difficult time, but you know, sitting in a live chat is not going to help you, I don't think. Yeah. Yeah, you're caved in on yourself. You're a black hole unto yourself. You need to get out of yourself. You need to give yourself to others. Go volunteer, go help somebody, give someone a gift. Do something like that. So anyway, I hope that helps. Like I said, I care, so don't take this as me, you know, brushing you aside, but... Alright, let's get back to making this boss. I'm out of water now, too. Alright, so let's see. Tiled window manager with Godot, what does that mean? Tiled window manager. Did I get that from Healthy Gamer GG? No, I don't. No, I think it's just been my experience that, you know, I think a black hole is the right sort of analogy. It's like you kind of just get, you know, caught up in your own issues, and the way to break out of that is to get out of yourself, is to be selfless, so to speak. I've seen that help a lot of people anyway. People that my friends who have been in deep depressions before, what they've done is they've joined a community that does volunteering efforts, and that really accelerated them out of where they were. And also it just helps me, you know, if I'm in a down spot, I notice that if I just stop focusing on myself for a little bit and do something for somebody else, that actually helps quite a bit. So just experience basically, but I wouldn't be surprised if that advice is also given elsewhere. So I need to stagger these enemy spawns. That's what I need to do. So I'm in the wrong script here. So this enemy boss. This enemy boss here needs to have its enemy staggered. I'm losing my spot. No, brain, come back. Come back, brain. You're not allowed to quit yet. We have more work to do. Okay, so in here, I want to... So I think the best way to do this is I need to add like a stagger timer. So let's do timer. Actually, let's make it a random timer. Add child node random timer. Using a VM in Linux? No, I'm not. I can't do Linux. I'm sorry. I know there's Linux fans, and I just can't. I can't do it. Good. I'm glad it helped. I hope that. I mean, I'm just a guy on the internet, so you should take my advice with a grain of salt. But that's a one piece of advice that's not going to hurt anyone. Is if you go and help somebody or you do volunteer work and you find out it doesn't help, well, guess what? It helped somebody else. So it's like the least destructive advice of all time. Anyway, so let's do so spawn stagger timer, and I'm gonna do the min wait time at 0.1 and max wait time at 0.2, one shot on. Let's do var to spawn scene equals, well, let's just do packed scene. Var to spawn count int. I don't think I need to assign this to 0 to start, but so to spawn scene, to spawn count. Max wait time meant to be 0.2. Oh yeah, did I undo it on accident? Thank you. I thought I typed it in, but maybe I just completely missed it. Thank you for catching that. So to spawn scene, to spawn count. So the to spawn scene needs to be assigned down here. So instead of iterating over here like this, now you might be wondering, why am I not just doing an await right here? And the problem is that if there's an active timer being awaited here and the thing gets freed, you're going to end up with errors. And so it's much safer to just do a timer. So what I could do is I could do spawn stage. So first of all, to spawn count is equal to rand I range 3 and 6. Let's do to spawn scene is equal to that. Okay. And then let's cut this line here. And we'll do, we need the spawn stagger timer. What are you doing, cat? What are you doing? Cat won't leave me alone. I'm trying to stream. Spawn stagger timer. So in here, spawn stagger timer dot start random. Yeah. And then let's do this. Func on spawn stagger timer timeout. I need to keep track of how many have been spawned already. So to spawn scene dot instantiate get parent pet it. All right, here we go. I'm petting him. Discord server when maybe sometime. I don't know. It's so much of a dedication that I need to give you guys if I'm going to do that. Hello, and Woo. Got your course, and while I was dealing with burnout, you encouraged me to keep going. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm glad to hear that. Not a pixel artist and also participating in GMTK. Everyone can be a pixel artist to some extent. I was not a good artist when I started learning pixel art, but it really doesn't take that much effort to become passable at pixel art. I'm never going to be like one of the greats. You know, pixel art, you see these posts on the social media, it's like, wow, you know, I'm never going to be that level, but I can make passable art, which is all that I really want. I guess I can just do to spawn count and subtract that, right? So to spawn count minus equals 1. If to spawn count greater than 0, then we'll do spawn stagger timer dot start random. Okay. Let's see what happens. Nothing happened because I forgot to connect to the timeout signal. Get a round of applause, everybody. Yay, forgot to do something basic. Spawn stagger timer dot timeout dot on dot connect on spawn. I wrote the method but never connected it. All right, here we go. You could give some moderator role. I think people will volunteer for Discord. Yeah, probably true. I have to think about it some more. It's just, it requires a level of dedication that I'm not quite ready for, I don't think. but I'll think about it. People have been asking for it. Oh, there's too many enemies. So I think what I need to do is make the boss run away. He looks like a box of French fries when he's this small, like a McDonald's French fry. That's hilarious. Anyway. Necromancer Kingdom. Oh, if only. Darker blue purple BG. Yeah, I thought, you know, the BG is kind of light, but the problem is this is my entire color palette. So I could try purple for sure. You know, I'm gonna try this. This is too scatterbrained, but let's try it. Let's just give it a shot. So if I load my default palette, oops, load my default palette, put that purple in there. Let's do HSV, turn the value up a little bit. Oh, that value probably needs to go. Yeah, something like that. So that's the color that I can use with purple. Do you like that better? Let's do a poll of viewers. So this is the purple background. Oh, the arena. Oh, the arena. They do look like French fries, yeah. I prefer a darker purple BG. Yeah, I don't think I have a good color for this white area here. I think the white gives a nice canvas for all the paint effects or whatever you want to call them, because it's not blood, because these are not these are just amorphous blob creatures, so they don't have blood, they have goop. Although I kind of do like the purple background better, but I have to think about that as well. I got so used to the blue background that now I'm like having FOMO or something, like, oh man, I can't abandon that now. But I'm gonna consider that. But yeah, if you're talking about the white thing, I don't really think I can do much about that in terms of the color. So trying to rigidly adhere to the color palette as much as possible. But so, okay, so the size change is working really well, except it's spawning way too many enemies. So let's turn down the number of enemies that it can spawn at once from that. But then also let's shoot. Var total spawned int. Let's do this. Total spawned plus equals 1. And then what I can do is I can connect to the enemy killed on game events. So game events dot enemy killed dot connect on enemy killed. Subtract from the total spawned, and then what we can do in here is we can set a limit. So gosh, I'm getting so lost in here. Leave state size change to spawn count. So what we'll do is we'll say if total spawned is less than 15, let's say. Let's see if that works. There's a little box of French fries coming at me. So that should make the game a little bit more playable. Once I change his behavior a little bit, so that he runs away from the player instead of toward the player. Yeah, I think that's going to look good. Yeah, I do want to add shadows. Did I add that here? I didn't. The problem with adding shadows, I mean, the shadows would be okay on the guys themselves, but the problem with a shadow on the player is that it's the player can jump. So I don't know what to do about the shadow in that case. I guess I could just hide the shadow during the jump and then re-enable it. But yeah, I agree. There needs to be something like grounding them a little bit. The other problem is that the shadows will overlap. Well, no, they won't. I think they'll be fine. I'll have to try it out. You know what I just realized? The run tween needs to stop. So enter state size change. Okay, that is going to help a lot, I think. Visual feedback on whether your attacks are dealing damage. Yeah, it's not very noticeable on the stream probably, but I'm not having any problems noticing it in the game itself, so I think it's probably okay. If anything, I could make the effect last a little bit longer, but there is no hit flash when you're dealing damage or when you're hitting enemies that you're not damaging. So you have to be the right size of player to damage the enemies. You can still knock them back, but you're not going to deal damage to them. So like here, this guy's not getting damaged. I need to have like a boss health bar too. Dang, there's so much work to do. I might not have time to do boss abilities, like special boss abilities. So basically this boss is basically just going to be an endless round, or it's going to be a timeless round where it's basically just going to take as long as it takes for you to kill the boss. Okay, let's commit what we got. And then I'm going to take a quick couple minute break. And then when I come back, we're going to be changing the boss behavior so that he runs away from the player instead of running toward the player. Title, Fries Bite Back. Oh my gosh. 1 pixel stroke at the bottom. Okay. Okay. That's a good idea. Circle shadow. Walking trails would be better for the player. Walking trails. Oh, interesting. Those are all good ideas. Yeah, anyway, so I'm going to take a quick couple minute break, and then when I come back, we'll be changing the boss behavior a little bit. But in the meantime, if you want to check out my Udemy course and my games on Steam, if you can financially support me and pick one of those up, that would be great because I don't have a job. Otherwise, you could support me by just subscribing to this channel, watching my videos. You can also sign up for my newsletter. I'm going to send, or I have been sending weekly status report updates. So if you're interested in those, but yeah, going to take a couple minute break and then we'll be back at it in just a few minutes. All right, we're back. Are you ready for the most satisfying, refreshing sound that is known to man? Hold on, let me get it ready. Oh, yeah. Nothing like a cool carbonated beverage, am I right? All right, so yes, let's make, so I was thinking as I was taking my couple minute break, I just had like a revelation, like just the secrets of the universe poured into my brain. Instead of having the boss run away from the player, I'm just going to have the boss choose a random position in the arena to run to, because I already have that code. I don't need to worry about doing raycasts to make sure that he's not choosing a point that's off the map or anything. And I think it's going to provide a lot of what I'm looking for in terms of just kind of running around haphazardly, unpredictably is kind of what I'm going for. So I think what I'm going to do is just do that. So in this acquire target position here, instead of going to the player position, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say var or just target position is equal to enemy manager dot get random spawn position, which is kind of a misnomer now, but that's fine. And then in my state normal, I basically just need to check if I'm close to that. So instead of acquire target position here, what I'm going to do is, so acquire target position in the enter state, and then I'll do if global position dot distance squared to target position is less than pow, let's just do like 25. Then we'll just call acquire target position again. So let's see if that works. Where are you going? So he's just running around haphazardly like you see? Now there's a problem when he stops, is his scale is all wrong. So I need to figure out, how is the player scale being reset? Run animation reset tween. Run animation reset tween map. I guess I'll just copy that. So that's in create run tweens. Interesting. Oh, you know what? I don't even need to do that. I can just do a so in the create run tween in here, run animation reset tween like so. Yeah, look at that. Okay. So now when I enter, or when I guess when I leave state normal, func leave state normal, what I can do is I can do run animation reset tween dot call like so. And then I need to pass that into here. And that should reset his scale when he's done running. Yeah, there we go. Oh! So now he needs to be able to take damage. So let's add a health component now and let's figure all that out. So let's give him 50 health. That's probably too much, but whatever. So on hurt box component hit. Oh, this is gonna be so annoying. Well, only way out is through. Let's copy this over. So basically, I'm just going to copy this on hurtbox component hit here into my enemy boss. And we've got a couple of knockback things here. I'm going to ignore the knockback stuff for now. I need to preload the enemy impact particle scene. So var enemy impact particles scene equals preload enemy impact particles. Okay, particles.global position, hurtbox component. Yeah, so I need to figure out what the hurtbox component is here. Now, when I change my size, I'm disabling certain hurtbox shapes based on the size. So that means that I basically need to loop over all of the hurtbox components and connect to them. So let's go ahead and figure that out. So I'm going to just do something cheap here. I'm going to do for, oh, I don't even have the boss open. Here we go. For hurtbox in, oh, now I need to grab a reference to all these things. Hurtbox component small, hurtbox component medium, hurtbox component large, hurtbox dot, well, let's do this. Hurtbox equals hurtbox component as hurtbox component. Hello, Neozoid. Welcome back to the stream. Good to see you. Hurtbox dot hit dot connect on hurtbox component hit. We got to bind. Now, what do I need to bind here? Is valid. True. Invalid hit, bind false. So hopefully that's going to be enough. So that's going to connect up all the hurt boxes there. Okay. Now I need to know what the hurt box component is. So let's do this. Hurt box component. Like so. I'll bind that as an extra parameter in here. So hurtbox. All right. And then I need to do something with this hit flash, but I don't think, well, I'm going to abstract this get size sprite into a separate method here. because in here now, what I'm going to want to do is copy over that hit flash. So I need the hit flash tween. So let's copy that from the normal enemy script. I guess I didn't really need to copy that. It's pretty straightforward definition here, but whatever. Hit flash tween, okay. Oh, it's already here? Oh, I'm in the wrong script. Uh-oh. Yeah, we're starting to make basic errors here. That's not good. It's a race against the moment my brain fails. Okay, so now in here, this sprite, we want to do get size sprite. That's why I abstracted that function out. And then now we need to copy that shader material over to all of these sprites. So I'm just going to go to my enemy small here. This shader material needs to be copied. So let's copy it. And then in my enemy boss, we should be able to paste that material there for all of them. Okay, and I'm just going to do something like 10 health for now. The hurt box component, I don't think I can assign a hurt box component here. What I need to do instead is I need to manually do that. So let's get a reference to the health component. And then I'm just going to do this. Health component dot damage, hit parameters dot damage. I think that's basically the same as what's in the health component here. Yeah. So that was just a shorthand that I implemented, but I can do that instead. And that's going to work just fine. All right, let's see what happens. Oh, he's not dead. Why isn't he dead? He probably died several times over by now. I'm just not handling that situation. So what am I doing in here? So the enemy... on died. Yeah, I need to copy this on died basically. Lots of copy and pasting here. And then I need to get the enemy death particles. Now here, I probably want to emit boss killed as well, or something similar to that. I don't know yet how I'm going to detect the boss level, but all of that's going to come next. We're actually very close to getting to that stage. So is there a C# course also in Udemy? I'm working on a C# course right now for Udemy, but yeah. Good luck on your game. Take care. Oh, thanks for tuning in, Mohammed. Great to have you. Why am I using GDScript? Mostly because I want to offer a web build of the game, and which I believe is still not supported in C# for Godot 4, so that's the main reason. But also, it's good to stay up to date on my GDScript as well. Okay, let's see if all that works. Oh, I forgot to connect to the... Yeah, I forgot to connect to the death signal. Health component dot died dot connect on died. There he goes. He's dead. Haha. The king is dead. So now I need to figure out the knockback for him as well. Before we get into the larger game loop stuff, I need to get him knockback. But first, add enemy boss health. So he can be killed now. Actually, I should probably more thoroughly test this. So I'm going to put 50 HP here. Did I already kill him? I think I already killed him. How did that happen? Oh, right, because it's, yeah. Maybe I'll give him 100 health. Because by the time you get to the boss, you're gonna be doing a lot of damage, generally speaking. I'm gonna have to tweak these numbers, I think, but yeah, I think maybe 100 is better. And I'm gonna add a health bar for the king as well. There we go. So he's dead now. I might even make it 150. I want it to be kind of a prolonged fight. Okay, I think 150 is gonna be good, but gonna have to play test it. Oh, I still have to do music and sound effects and everything. Oh my gosh, there's so much work to do. All right, let's figure out this knockback stuff before we fall into despair. So I'm just gonna copy all of this knockback stuff here and paste it into the boss. The tricky thing is I don't want the boss to be interrupted. I don't think it's gonna be tricky. I think it'll be fine, actually. But typically enemies get interrupted when they get knocked back. So that means if they're charging up an attack and you hit them, they'll be knocked out of that state. But I don't want that to happen for the boss because then that's just going to trivialize the fight. So we need a knockback direction. So var knockback force float var mass coefficient. So the enemy small has a mass coefficient of 1, mass coefficient of 2, and then mass coefficient of 3. Oh, that's easy. All right, that's easy. So enemy boss. Actually, I'm just going to do this. Knockback tween. All right, I need that now too. Entity size. Excellent. Okay. So when is the state knockback being entered? Oh, it's okay. So I think what I'm gonna have to do, let me think about this. I think I'm gonna make the boss invincible while he's changing sizes so that you can't knock him out of that state. And then, yeah, I think that'll be fine. So go on down here. So when you enter, or when he enters the enter state size change, I think what I need to do is I need to disable for shape in hurtbox shape small, hurt box shape medium, hurt box shape large, shape dot disabled equals true. And then we're going to re-enable. Oh, you know what? Let's do this. Func enable size hit collision shape. And then so I enter the state size change, I disable all the shapes, and then when I leave that change state, I'll do enable size collision shape. So there we go. So make him briefly invulnerable. Oh, he's not even getting knocked back. What is this? Why isn't he getting knocked back? Oh, I forgot to add it as states. No state with name state knockback. Okay. There we go. Knockback is working now. And now he's invulnerable. So I can't knock him out of the size change, which is good. Now, it looks like maybe I was stopping him from... Let's change this min wait time and max wait time to 2 and 4 here. Bring it down just a little bit. Yeah, it looks like I am locking him in place somehow. Why is that happening? So it's probably it has to do with this enter state normal. So let's see. If size change timer is stopped, state machine change state, state size change. Oh, did I do the wrong thing? No. I'm gonna move this to the top. So let's try this instead. Let's print in here. Print starting. I just want to see if this is actually being called multiple times. I suspect that it is. Oh, it's because I'm locking him in the state, the knockback state. So I just keep refreshing the knockback state such that he's never actually leaving that state. And then the other problem is if I keep him in the knockback state long enough, that size change timer will run out and it will just start over. So what I need to do is I actually need to make this size change timer. I think I need to make this independent of the state system. So let's try this. Size change timer dot timeout dot connect on size change timer timeout. So instead of detecting it in here, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna force that state change whenever that timer stops running, regardless of what state it's currently in, which means that it will leave the knockback state to go right into its, whatever it's called, change size state. So func on what is it called? On size change timer timeout. So this is going to force an entry into the state that I want, and I think that's going to fix it. So now I shouldn't be able to endlessly knock him back. Yep, he stopped. He's switching sizes now. Okay, good. It's so much fun to kill all these guys. Come back here. Oh my gosh. I should probably add some kind of animation too, like he's about to change. I could also just spawn stagger timer, sign change delay timer. We could turn that down to 0.5 so it's a little bit quicker. That will reduce the need for an animation. Yeah, that looks better. There's no reason for him to be invulnerable for that long. Run away, little man. Come here. Ooh. These freaking little guys. Oh, I'm actually not doing so hot here. These little guys, oh my goodness. They're actually so annoying because they fit in between all the larger enemies and you can only kill them with the small guy. And so getting out your little submachine gun, just like most of the bullets get blocked when you're trying to kill the little dudes. So you almost have to like AoE in with the big guy first, clear all those guys, then switch to your medium to clear out the medium guys. Honestly, I don't even know if the boss needs any special abilities. I think that it actually feels like a pretty decent fight. And I'm not just saying that so I can avoid work. I'm not. It does feel good. Of course, if I could add stuff, then that would be great, but I think I really need to focus on finishing the things that are remaining on my list. So I'm going to say that the boss is good right there. So add boss knockback. I'm very happy with where the boss is at right now. And he still needs to be tied into the greater game loop as well. But I'm going to mark the boss as done. Well, maybe not, because I still need to do some things here. Whew. Wait, what language do you know? What languages do I know? I mean, the thing about like doing programming and software engineering is that basically all the languages are the same. You know, I could pick up a new language within a relatively short period of time because it's just, you just have to know like what the semantic differences are. Well, not semantic, the syntactic differences are, and whatever, you know, sugar is available. And, you know, there's functional programming versus object oriented. So if you understand the difference between those things, it becomes a little bit, and they're basically all the same, like the logic is the same. But in terms of like the languages that I have the most experience working in, JavaScript, C#, Java, and GDScript, I guess you could say. But yeah, JavaScript mostly. Okay, so let's go to the enemy manager now. And this enemy manager so when the round count goes to 10, if where's this round started used? What's the difference between a static and a normal function? Good question. 1 second, let me just check this. Let me just not lose my train of thought, and then I will answer your question real quick. Okay, difference between a static and a normal function. So a static function, this get random spawn position, it allows you, so typically functions have to be called on an instance of a class, right? So I have to instantiate a class or an object before I can call the methods that are available on it. However, a static function is basically a class level function, meaning that I don't need to instantiate a class to call it. I can just call it from the class directly. So in this case, enemy manager, typically, if I wanted to call like get round time remaining, I need a reference to a specific instance of an enemy manager. But with a static function, all I need to do is reference the enemy manager class and call it here. So if I find where this is used, like here, see how I'm calling enemy manager as the class name dot get random spawn position. So it's basically like a class level function rather than an instance level function. And this is just a nice way of putting like universally accessible functionality that doesn't necessarily depend on any instance data. In this case, it does. I made this like a singleton pattern. So I created a static instance variable that points to the existing instance of enemy manager. And then the beauty of the static class is that it knows it can reference that instance and then do specific things. But I don't need to, anywhere else in the code, I don't need to know anything about what the instance of enemy manager is. I can just call this get random spawn position, and all of this is internally managed for me, so I don't need to worry about it. Yeah, it's very useful. Very useful. You can definitely abuse it, but it's useful, generally speaking. I might, maybe I'll open source this project so you guys could go around and poke around if you want to check it out. But that's not a promise, but I'm thinking about doing that. We'll see. So what am I doing? Oh yeah, enemy manager. So it's going to spawn the boss. So it's going to wait for a second, spawn the boss, emit this round started timer. Well, I probably want to emit that first and then wait. And then spawn the boss. And here, export var enemy boss scene. Bam, enemy boss. Here we go. Sorry, I'm just thinking. What I might do is I might make this a static function as well. Spawn enemy. And you'll see why I'm making this a static function in a second here. So you'll notice that I can do instance.ySortRoot. So it's keeping track of a remaining enemy count. But the problem is that this count is not being incremented every time the boss spawns an enemy. And so in order to avoid that problem, I'm going to send all enemy spawn operations through the same code. And so that way it's all synchronized. And so if I go back to my boss and where I'm spawning my enemies here, so here we go, on spawn stagger timeout. So this enemy to spawn scene here, instead I'm going to do enemy manager dot spawn enemy to spawn scene, and I don't need to do any of this anymore. So that's going to be shuffled through the same exact code as the normal enemy spawn, which also means that it's going to keep track of the count naturally. So the round shouldn't be marked as complete until I've killed the boss and all the enemies that he spawned. So I think that's going to work the way that I want it to work. I hope it's going to work the way that I want it to work. And if it doesn't work the way that I want it to work, then I'm going to be a little bit annoyed. But it should be fine. So now what I'm going to do is my enemy manager. So here, if the round count is equal to max rounds, I'm just going to replace this with 1. And if I go to my main now, I'm going to do this debug disable, delete this boss here. So reset it back to normal. And now my first round should be the boss round. Except I didn't fill out, I didn't fill out the spawn boss here. Goodness gracious. I think I can just do that, honestly. I don't think I need to do anything else. Yep, there we go. A boss has spawned, and he should go and do his own thing. I'm going to just kill him, and then the round shouldn't be over until I've killed him plus all of his minions. Come here, french fries. I need a name for this game still, if anyone's got any name ideas. I know I already got one name idea, which was related to french fries. But yeah, I need names, so let me know. Okay, so I've killed the boss now. So now it's time to see. Ooh. Nice, it worked. So obviously we don't want to show more upgrades after the boss is spawned. And I also want to show a boss health bar. So, oh, this is going to be a little bit tricky. This is going to be a little bit tricky. It's going to be a little bit tricky. It's going to be just a little bit tricky. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do game events. Signal boss spawned. Func emit boss spawned. Boss spawned dot emit like so. We'll go into the enemy boss here. In the ready method, we'll just go ahead and emit that. So game events dot emit boss spawned. And then what that's going to do is that's going to tell my game UI that I can show the boss health bar. So instead of round 1 here, well, so I want to hide the time label, basically. I need to align this as well. I just realized this text is misaligned here. kind of a little bit janky in terms of how I'm doing this, but okay, so that's aligned now. Good, good. So now I'm going to add a progress bar. Actually, I'm going to do copy that, paste it in there. This is going to be the boss health bar. This is going to be the boss health bar secondary. Why are these different sizes? That's a good question. There we go. So what's going to happen is that this time label is going to disappear, and this status container that's odd. Why are these different? Maybe I shouldn't have a separation on this one. That's weird. Oops. Are these misaligned? How is that possible? Oh, they're not misaligned. Okay, well, as long as they're aligned, I'm okay. So this round label is going to become round 10 boss or something like that. Or maybe it's just going to become boss. Boss. So something like that, but let's put it back to where it was. You know what I could do is I'll create a new label here. Let's duplicate this. Boss label. That'll work. So I've got a boss label now, and I've got the boss health bar. Boss label dot visible equals false. Boss health bar dot visible equals false. Let's connect to the game events. Game events dot boss spawned dot connect on boss spawned. Oops. When the boss is spawned, we're going to do round label dot visible equals false. Boss label visible equals true. Boss health bar dot visible equals true as well. And before I forget, I'm just going to change the mouse filter to ignore on all those. So when the boss gets spawned, all of these labels are going to become visible. Now I also need a way of connecting to the boss health component. I'm gonna do a little bit of a trick here. When the boss spawns, I'm gonna pass in the health component. Like so. Go to my enemy boss. Pass along the health component, and now what I can do in my game UI is when that boss is spawned, I can do accept it in here, health component, health component, health component.health changed, dot connect on boss health changed, func. Oh, and I'm gonna do this. Boss health bar dot value is equal to 1. And then I need to do the boss health bar secondary as well. Oops. Oops. Dot value equals 1. Func on boss health changed. I'm just like losing my focus mid work here. Current health, which is a float. Max health, which is also a float. Boss health bar dot value is equal to current health divided by max health. And then I need a tween here. Is that gonna work? Boss. It's not working, imagine that. And the reason why it's not working is because I need to pass in this boss health bar secondary here. Okay, let's see if that works. So now I can damage him and you can see that there's a little animation now. Nice. Oh, you know what? You know what? I think there's a problem with my boss too. When I enter state, leave state normal, but also wait a minute. My run animation reset tween is conflicting, I think, with... Yeah, it's conflicting with the knockback. It's conflicting with the knockback tween, which is creating some interesting effects. So in my enemy, the knockback tween is being applied to what? It's being applied directly to the sprite, I think. I don't know. The art is simple yet awesome, thank you. Oh wait, hold on. Oh, I missed a bunch of comments, I'm sorry. For work, I'm working in a source base that abuses static methods. Oh yeah, that's not good, yeah. Yeah, static methods are easily abusable in my experience, and if something can be easily abused, then it will be easily abused. Something to think about. The art is simple yet awesome. Thank you, Andwoo. Screen shake makes the game feel really good. Can't wait to try it. Thank you, yeah. Belly fire, yeah. Yeah, that's me right now. Is it better to use compatibility or is it to export to web? In early versions of Godot, I had a lot of problems with the Vulkan renderer, and I just found I received less problems in terms of crashing and everything using compatibility. I don't really think there's a good reason to use the new renderer given that Vulkan is not supported on all hardware, unless you need some of the new performance or rendering items. But all or most of the 2D rendering things I need are in the compatibility mode, especially in 4.3. So it's like, I think it's less performant technically, but if it works on more hardware, then, you know, it's kind of a trade-off. Do I do development streams for Gunforged? I did, yes. Once I get back into Gunforged development, that will be a thing again. So yeah, more of those streams are coming. Hello, Gabe H. It's probably Gabe H, huh? All right, welcome to the stream. So yeah, I need to figure out how this knockback tween is working. I wonder if I could get away with this by doing, so I'm calling that reset, run animation reset tween when I leave state normal, but I wonder if I should also call that when I leave state knockback. Maybe that alone will just fix it. Boss, come here. Yeah, still quite a bit of things to clean up. I probably need to start adding sound effects and music next, plus like an options menu and stuff. And then I need to also test like exporting and making sure that my finalized builds work. So if you're working in Godot, there have been some notorious issues where, you know, your game will work from the editor, but then when you export the game, it breaks for some unknown reason. You do not want that to happen when there's only an hour left in the game jam, right? So you should get to a point where you've got 6 or 12 hours left in the game jam. You should build your game, export it, and test it and make sure the exports run. And that way, if you need to spend 3 hours debugging why it's not working, you have the time to do it, right? So that's just a tip for all you Godoters out there. I also want to add a difficulty scaling mode. So basically what I want to do is make it so that there's an easy mode where you have 10 health as the player, and after every round your health fully replenishes. I want to make a normal mode where you start with 10 health, but you don't get any new health throughout the game, so you have 10 and that's it. Or no, sorry. You start with 10 and after every round you heal 1, and then I want to make a hardcore mode or a challenge mode where you start with 5 health and you don't heal at all. And so I want to make those options available to everyone. That's like an easy way, I think, of changing the difficulty of the game without having to tweak a ton of numbers. I can just change how the health works for the player, and I think that'll be fine. Nice, the boss is dead. So I need like a game complete screen now too. But where's my enemy manager? Enemy manager, let's do export var boss debug bool. or os.isDebugBuild, and oh, I need to put this in parentheses here. Okay, so now this should be back to the normal game here. But if I go ahead and go to my main and I turn on the boss debug, now the boss should spawn immediately. Boss, yes. Okay, that's looking good. Why do I not stream on Twitch? Oh, just because there's no reason for, there's no reason to split my audience, really. I like YouTube because I already have the channel, I already have the subscribers, people get notifications, and then the VOD just goes directly to my channel. Keeps everything nice together. I don't think it's generally a good idea to split the audience. And I don't really think Twitch gives me anything in particular that I can't get out of YouTube, so. Will I stream playing games? No, I don't have any plans to do that. Oh, from the jam. Oh, yeah, sorry, I misunderstood you. I thought you meant just like a gameplay channel of random games. No. Yeah, I might do some jam game streaming. Maybe I could do something interesting like give priority to Godot games, which I guess would be kind of pointless because a lot of the games are going to be Godot games. So yeah, but I think I'm going to call the stream there. It's been about a 2 hour and 40-minute stream, so I need to take a much needed break for a little bit, and then I probably will not do another stream today. So be on the lookout for a stream tomorrow morning, though. If I stream tomorrow morning, the game will be basically complete, and I'll just be putting finalized touches on. So make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you're notified. Again, if you want to financially support me, you can do that by purchasing one of my Udemy courses or one of my Steam games, and subscribing and watching my videos helps a ton as well. So, oh, sorry to hear about your algorithm troubles, Neozoid. Ask ChatGPT, that'll help. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and hope to see you guys again whenever the next stream is, probably tomorrow. So, all right, have a good day.